Hey yo, friends. This is gonna be a tough one. And I totally get it if it's one that you want to skip, because I'm really doing this for myself. The main lore channel is more official, it's more business. This channel is the variety channel, and it's also a channel that I had started with Zilli in mind as a cornerstone of it. And I'd mentioned in the Discord, and I made my Twitter tweet about it, but a few weeks ago now, my Zilli passed away. And I kind of just want to get it all out in one spot. So if you want to tune out, again, like I totally get it. This can be pretty heavy subject matter. I will be back soon with more Let's Play content and Breath of the Wild stuff. So I'll catch you the next time. So I do want to talk about her. It's my channel. But also she was a big part of this channel, and I've been dreading this video. I was raised in an environment where strong displays of emotion were unbecoming, especially of a female. And I haven't had a lot of connections in my life. I had a dog growing up named Maya that I loved. She passed many, many years ago. And throughout my adult life, I've always wanted another companion, but I can't have cats or dogs where I live. And I'd not really given a lot of consideration to smaller animals, certainly not a reptile. When I'd gotten Zilli, June of last year, I was during a really difficult time. I was normalizing some really destructive self-talk. I was extremely lonely. I was worked into the ground. I'd wanted to get a little friend so that I could have something to kind of keep me grounded. I guess you could say it was like a last-ditch effort to try fixing myself. And when I saw Zilli, this tiny little 3-month-old lizard, I fell in love with her. It was, as soon as I saw her, I adored her. Like, it was meant to be. And she gave me a reason to get up every morning. Zilli needed her lights on. She needed fed. She needed pottied. And I got to raise this beautiful little ember dragon. So Zilli really saved me in a lot of ways. And she became this like little channel mascot. She was on the art streams. She's here on the Let's Play channel. I talked about her all the time during regular streams, and she would pop up in the Discord regularly. And, long story short, getting into what happened with her, she started getting sick when she was about 6 months old. Or I noticed that she was sick. I didn't realize it, but she had been sick long before I had even found her and brought her home. And the next 5.5 months, it was just, whatever it took. It was any treatment, any attention, any amount of money, any babying, it didn't matter. The last month that I had with her was just around the clock. It was just constant care. And a few days before she passed, the vet and I actually thought she was rebounding on a new medication type. We thought that she was actually doing better. And I don't want to talk about that day specifically, like what happened. But it was within about an hour, she went from being home to gone. So I went from feeding every 3 hours and warm baths for comfort and tummy rubs and watching cartoons to suddenly she's not there anymore. It was my reason for getting up every morning was just gone. But I can also look back on it and see that, Zilli was meant to be with me. She had the longest life possible. She was spoiled. She was loved. Every day she was taken care of and catered to, even on the hard ones. And I've been really withdrawn from, everything because, how do you explain that, the grief over a 1-pound lizard? How do you explain that? I would joke that she had 2 brain cells, It's a difficult thing, especially since, I tried to save her for months. I've felt alone, especially the first week, because, I know folks would offer the chance to talk, but I also know that people don't like to deal with sad. I just felt like she was gone. I felt like she was forgotten. I kept getting angry about it, and I kept reliving the last hour of her life over and over again. So how do you put that kind of pressure on others to help you with it? I can look at what I'm doing now and see that, I'm talking about it, but it's safe. It's at a distance. There's anonymity behind it. It's not overly personal. And, I don't have a lot of friends or family, and people are very hands-off with me, like I'm covered in thorns. So it's been very isolating. I feel like I've lost more than just Zilli in all this. And, it's just woe is me bullshit. I'm just, I'm bitching right now. What truly I want from this is for Zilli to be remembered. because she was such a sweet spirit. She did not have a mean bone in her body, and she gave me so much joy, even in the final week. And not only that, but I mean, she taught me so much about bearded dragons and their health. Because that girl, it was just one thing after the next. And she really did remind me that, like, regardless of the difficult past I've had, like, I do still have a lot of love to give. I'd kind of lost that in my younger years because the world is cruel and cold, but Zilli really changed that. And when things are better, when I'm financially recovered, I'm gonna get her a little sister dragon, and I'm gonna tell her all about Zilli the Slayer. And to kind of like add to the pride I have in Zilli, because I'm very, very proud of her. Once she was gone, she was sent to a reptile research, so that what killed her can be studied. Getting into the medical side of it, like we were never really able to pin it down. Bearded dragons are really difficult to diagnose when they're ill because they don't show their illnesses very well. They're so expensive to treat, and there's just not enough data. They need so much more research done, and people that are interested in them need educated on their needs, their husbandry, and taking them in for regular checkups. From what I've seen, at least, bearded dragons get the short end of the stick when it comes to responsible ownership. Some of the things that I've seen posted on social media of people being cruel to their beardies for the clicks and the laughs is disgusting. They can be hard to understand, and they're really prone to certain illnesses. And what killed Zilli was blanket termed osteomyelitis, but we're not completely sure what sort of bacteria it was or if it was fungal. We spent months trying to treat her, but in the end, we just really didn't know what exactly was doing it. These things happen in bearded dragons, though, and there's just not enough information out there about it. And Zilli is helping change that. Hopefully knowing what happened to her will save some other dragons, and when her work is done, I will get her ashes in an urn, so hopefully soon she will be back home with me where she belongs. Myself and Viral went through and we changed assets on the channel. That was really for me. And it's not because I want to erase Zilli, but I do feel like I want to honor and remember her in other ways. And I want to be very careful with her image. I don't ever want it to come across that I'm using Zilli for things. That's always just been like a very, very strange fear with me, is I always want my animals to be respected. I had considered taking the Faith series down because it has Zilli Cam in the corner, but I mean, she was there, and I wish that I had started that stuff sooner so that there could have been more of her on the channel. So I think that's about it. I think that's where I'll leave it. I know that it's time to start facing people again, trying to laugh again, or at least trying to make other people laugh. And, you know, I'd said it in the Discord, but I'll say it here again, to give your little loves an extra hug and some extra treats in honor of our Zilli.